Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know what? Let's start with Olivia. Olivia and Tracy. You know, Olivia asks her straight up, what's going on? Like, why are you sitting there lying about this whole Alexis thing? Things aren't adding up. And she talks about the security cameras, the security system, and how it wasn't touched or anything like that, and Sam checked. And Tracy tried to lie once again. She was like, oh, well, Alexis was saying all this bad stuff. She was calling you a gold digger and a slut and every other name under the sun. And at first I was like, Olivia, please tell me you're not going to fall for this, right? Please tell me we're not doing this whole soap opera. You're going to... No, okay, cool. So after a while, she was like, yeah, that's not tracking. So why don't we try this again? Why don't you just be honest with me? So she grills her and grills her and grills her. And Tracy's like, well, did you ever think that I wasn't doing this for me? Because she realized that she can't just lie her way out of the situation. She realized that. And finally, she somewhat breaks down. She's like, have you ever thought that I wasn't doing this for me? And, you know, Olivia's like, well, who are you doing this for? Well, are you doing this for me? And she thinks, she ponders, and, you know, then everything hits her. Then it all makes sense. All those times that, you know, she was talking to Alexis, and how she was all sketchy, and talking to Ned, and he was sketchy, and some of the things that Alexis was saying, like, oh, well, you need to worry about you and your marriage. I mean, let's just be very clear about this whole thing. Tracy tried to do a good thing for her son. And it wound up backfiring, because the only thing that it wound up doing was pushing whatever this truth, you know, the whole thing, the affair with Alexis and Ned, I was about to call him Justin, their whole affair just pushed it even further. The minute she started with this whole let's frame Alexis with this DUI, it just went downhill from there. She thought she was helping, and in reality, and I felt like I wasn't the only person that thought about this. Then in reality, she was hurting. She was hurting Ned, in a way. And she had all these different images in her head, you know, the times that, you know, and then it was something that Ned said about, you know, how, I need you to forgive me and stuff. And, you know, mind you, you know, they're doing this whole celebration thing about Leo being part of the Quartermains and him adopting Leo and everything, and now, none of all that. So you got Sam there, and Tracy's there, and Olivia looked like she's about to have a damn heart attack. She looked like her world just dropped underneath her. And Ned is like, well, you know, Leo's gonna come downstairs in a little bit. He's just video chatting with Lucas because he's too busy. And I'm still not feeling a new Lucas, but whatever. So he's saying all this, being completely oblivious, and Olivia sits down, and Olivia's like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was like, when you said that I had to forgive you, you know? And she just had that look on her face, like she knew. And honestly, to tell you the truth, Ned had that look on her face like she knows. She knows that I did the devil's tango with Alexis. She knows. And, yeah. So I guess we're going to find out more about that tomorrow. Britt and Jason. Nothing too much happens with them. I mean, Jason just kind of checks up on Britt, and Britt tells Jason about the new drug that he's testing out, and how it's very potent, and it's very strong, and everything like that. I will say the one thing that Britt said, besides the fact that she was like, you know, I don't need you to protect me, you know, I'm a good person despite my past and everything like that, and I know how to sneak around, just trying to reassure herself and Jason that she can handle it herself, she doesn't need him swooping in to save her and everything, because Jason says something along the lines of, you know, I'm the one that brought you into this, you know, and I want to make sure that you don't get hurt. Now, Britt did say something that was interesting. She was like, while I still have time left, I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to do some really good things. I'm going to try to, save the community and stuff like that. That's not what she said, but those are along the lines of words that she meant. Now, I think Faison had something. I don't know if it was Parkinson's. It was something. And we saw it in a couple of episodes before where she was looking at something and then her hand started shaking. And, so she probably been knowing for a while ever since that happened. Maybe even before then. Maybe that was the reason why she left. So yeah, she says that to Jason, and I'm not gonna lie, it just really skipped over his head. Because they started arguing about, Jason was like, you're gonna be a good person and stuff like that, or you're gonna be just like Peter. And he turns the computer over, and it's her looking at Peter's, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a picture of Peter and something. So, it's still a lot, I guess that Jason doesn't trust Britt as far as, being like Faison or being like Peter. But it's amazing because he's usually very, like, in tune. And the fact that that detail just went over his head was amazing. But then I guess we'll wait until tomorrow to see, because they're going to be talking more, to see if he actually picked up on that. Or if it's just, are you sure you're not going to be like your brother? I guess we'll just wait and see. Liz is talking, well, she's on the phone with Terry about Franco's treatment, and she mentions the name, she mentions the, the fact that he has a brain tumor and stuff like that, and Sam overhears, and, Sam is like, so what's going on? Like, the last time he had a tumor, a lot of people died, and, what happened to me and everything, as far as, making it seem like Franco had, got her pregnant, I'll say. So she wants to know what's going on with the tumor. Is it going to be alright? Is it going to be flipping out and stuff? And, Liz is like, it's not like that before, he doesn't have the same symptoms, and, she kind of just about to break down. It's like, he doesn't have much time left. She's about to start crying, and, Sam, puts her hand over hers, to console her, and I'm just sitting there thinking, they have come a long way from really despising each other, I mean, hell, they practically play, Sam went after Lucky because, she felt that Liz was going after Jason, so that's how that whole thing happened. So they've come a long way from being, like, damn near mortal enemies. She offers her, hey, listen, shoulder to cry on, somebody to vent to, and everything like that. So, that's cool. But then, Liz finds out that Franco has been keeping some stuff from her, as far as, Jason, and having conversations with Jason, and maybe Jason knowing about his condition, and, like, why he's not there, talking to Franco. Also, the episode that he had at Sam's place, when he fainted, well, not when he fainted, but when he was, like, kneeling in pain and saying that he was hearing voices and stuff like that, like, he didn't tell Liz about that. So when Liz comes to the house, she's not happy. Now, sidebar, Franco and Cam, pretty much Cam gets a letter from Stanford. He opens it up. At first he freaks out, and this actually plays kind of an important role. So Cam gets home and he has some food for Franco, and Franco's like, I'm not hungry or anything like that, and Cam freaks out. He's like, is everything alright? Is it a tumor? He's getting worried. Franco's like, no, I'm good. I just ate a lot. I'm just it's full. But then he gets the letter from Stanford University, and he got accepted. I mean, they wait for like a good 2 minutes to open it, but he got accepted, and he's deciding on maybe not going because of Franco. He doesn't say that, but he's like, I can still change my mind. I don't know if I want to go. And he also swears, Franco to secrecy because he doesn't want Liz to know that he got accepted in case she pressures him into going. So he's just like, that's great. Another secret. That's nothing can go wrong with that. And then, of course, Liz comes home and she's already, angry with him. So he's about to have a bad day. What else? Valentine. I was about to say Franco for some reason. Valentine comes over to Alexis's place and talks to her for a little bit. And he brings over Martin Gray. Pretty much to help Alexis with the DUI. And at first, Alexis is like, I got this, I'm good, no worries, I may not have a license, but I'm still a lawyer and I know what I'm doing. And, Martin's like, Valentine's like, why don't you have Martin take a look at your, at your draft or whatever, your case and see if it's good. So he takes a look at it, and first of all, he's like, yeah, you got a couple of spelling errors, and your language for how you're describing Chase as like defective or whatever probably won't go over with the judge. So she gets defensive more, and Martin's like, listen, here's the thing. I know the judge. They get into how he knows the judge. I'm not gonna say, but it's weird because he's like, oh, gross or whatever. I was like, okay, cool, because you've never been to a strip club, but whatever, Alexis. So, Martin's like, listen, I got inside knowledge on the judge, and pretty much I got a loophole that can kind of maybe help your case if you're willing to sit there and listen. As far as the judge being sympathetic to, people who, give their keys to other people, when they're too drunk to drive or whatever. And also the fact that the judge plays pickup or whatever with Mac. And since he's good, he's like law enforcement or whatever, he may decide to take Chase's word over Alexis's. So Alexis is pretty much like, alright, we'll do it your way, pretty much. I don't remember if she actually says that, but she seems like she's really inclined to go with, Martin's suggestions as far as, helping out with a case. Because at the end of the day, it's just about winning, She just has to put her pride aside, and she seems like she's going to do that. So, I guess we'll see. What else? Oh, now I'll leave that out. And I wouldn't even sit there and say it's the best part because, Jax pretty much says that he loves Nina, which is like, I'm not going to lie, I was eating and I was like, ugh. Really? I mean, how are you going to sit there and say you love this woman, and in the same breath you're sitting there lying to her? But anyway, they talk about that. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie, they didn't really talk about much of anything. Towards the end, she says that she loves him too, and I'm like, yay, cool. This is going to be a very short relationship. Because we all know when she finds out what Jax was holding out on her, she's going to be tight. She's going to be tight, and she's going to have every right to be, tight, I mean, dude's literally sitting there lying to her, and, this is the second man that we've seen her with that's pretty much lied to her face. I mean, first it was, not Finn, but I can't remember the other guy's name, even though it's not that important. Cyrus? Someone else. He lied to her, and now Valentine lied to her multiple times, and now Jax is sitting there lying to her. I don't really know that many people that are single. I guess there's a couple if she doesn't mind dating somebody younger. But yeah, honestly, to tell you the truth, that scene was, It was honestly, to tell you the truth, my least favorite scene. And to be honest, when I'm looking at it, Jason and Britt didn't really talk about much of anything either. It was just like, Britt's not the type of person that wants somebody to save her. She wants to sit there and be able to handle stuff on her own. And again, the only thing that was interesting about that whole scene was the fact that she gave away the fact that she doesn't have that much time left. Which actually sucks. Here's the thing. I stopped watching GH for a little bit. This was the time where Britt was like super obsessed with Patrick. Like, he was just God's gift of women and like no one else can ever compare. And I didn't like that version. I didn't like that weak-minded, super obsessive, I gotta have him and nobody else. Like, I didn't like that version. But I like this version. And it's gonna kind of suck because it seems like she's running out of time. And same thing with Franco. That also sucks too. I don't know. Honestly, to tell you the truth, this episode was mostly good. I feel like it was sort of like yesterday's episode where it was a lot of filler. Some good parts here and there, but nothing really to like you can, I'm not gonna lie, you can honestly skip this episode and, well, you can either listen to me or you can listen to Brock TV and kind of get the gist of what this episode, was. So, yeah. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, I can't really think of anything else that really happened. 1 second. Except for the Olivia and Tracy stuff, because, I don't remember when this affair happened. I think it was like a couple of months ago. So the fact that it's actually coming out now is pretty good. And like I said, when she realized what had happened, like, I felt like she was about to faint. Like, she literally dropped to the couch, and she couldn't even hide her facial expression. She couldn't even sit there and give like a fake smile or anything. Like, so yeah, I guess we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Since I'm off, I'm actually gonna try to do this on time. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I will catch everyone in the next review. A lot of rambling.